just got the full Fantasy collection in the mail. This is the collaboration between Manny MUA and Laura Lee. They both have their own brands, Lunar Beauty, Laura Lee Los Angeles, and they came together to make a collaboration collection. I am so pumped for this. I cannot wait. We are going to do swatches. We are going to put the blush on. I've got a lip color on. Oh yeah, I've got the lipsticks here. I've got the bag. I've got the brushes. I'm going to give you my first impression thoughts. I'm going to apply the products. We're going to have a good time. I'm so excited. Let's jump into it. Y'all, starting off, we're going to talk about this collection. I cannot wait because I have loved Manny and Laura for so long, and I've bought so much from Lunar Beauty and from Laura Lee Los Angeles. You can definitely check out my previous videos, and I was just so excited, kind of like waiting for the day they would collab. So when I saw that we're finally getting our collaboration collection, I was super excited. I know a lot of y'all were too. So we're going to talk about all of these products. Now, I am an affiliate with Lunar Beauty. My affiliate code is Heather. It will not work on this collection, but it will work on other things on the Lunar Beauty site. I will also link Laura Lee Los Angeles's site down below because you can get this collection on both of their sites. So let me quickly kind of show you the items. We'll talk about these, we'll do swatches, and then we'll kind of get into the application of everything. So first up, we have the full Fantasy blush palette. Now, the packaging of everything I feel like is really like a perfect blend of Lunar Beauty and Laura Lee Los Angeles. We have the kind of nude pinky vibes that I think of with Laura Lee, but then we have this sun kind of like holographic raised detail on here that I think about with Lunar Beauty. The blushes. I'm excited about this because I have both of Lunar Beauty's blush palettes, love. I have Laura Lee's blush palette, love. So I expect a great formula. I'm very happy to see like a brown blush, a more like orangey toned blush, a bright pink blush. I love bright pink blush. And then we have this more like kind of like deeper berried pinky toned blush. And we also have two highlighters that I think are going to be really pretty. So we'll put these on the face because you see I have no blush. I have no eyeshadow on. We have the full Fantasy palette again with that packaging. This one just a little more like nude than the other one. The other one is more pinky, but really, really beautiful detailed packaging. We have this gorgeous palette with a large mirror. So let me show you a close-up of this palette and swatches. There are some really interesting tones in here, and I cannot wait to get this on the eyes because we definitely have our neutral shades, really, really pretty tones in here. We have some olive leaning tones. We have a black. We have like this what looks to be this duochrome shade. So I'm excited. It looks like we have several different formulas, maybe some shimmers, some metallics, some really sparkly shades. So we're going to do an eye look with this. I just always like to do swatches. You know, they can be fun, but the true test of a shadow is how they perform on the eyes. I do have Lunar Beauty and Laura Lee Los Angeles palettes, and I always enjoy them. So I have high hopes for this. There's also two lipsticks, and I thought I would just show you these on my lips. So right now I am wearing Mara on my lips. Now this is a lighter color than what I normally go for. So I put it on today, but I paired it with my Lunar Beauty lip pencil in the shade Doodle. A little bit deeper, a little more pink to kind of outline and define my lips. And then I went on with this shade, which is super, super duper pretty. The other shade I will wear later on in the video so you can see it on the lips too. But the packaging is really beautiful. It has Lunar Beauty and Laura Lee Los Angeles. You push the top, it's magnetic, it pops open. And we'll put this one on in just a bit. Okay, the last piece of this collection is this beautiful brush set. So we have some face brushes and some eye brushes. There's a dual-ended brush in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the other end, 7 brushes. We're gonna use these on the face and the eyes today. Of course, today's video is gonna be a first impression, but if you're new here, just so you know, I always do follow-up videos in a couple weeks, sometimes in a month, maybe a little more than that. After I've really tested and tried products, I come back, I'll let you know my thoughts. And brushes, we're gonna do a first impression today, but I will definitely wash and use and follow up with y'all. A part of that brush set is this bag. I like this like pinky nude color with our logos down here, and it is big enough. Like you can see, I put both palettes in here, so this is definitely big enough for like a travel bag. It feels really nice, so I'm excited about this. I am ready to play with this now, y'all. I'm ready to play with this. We'll kind of talk about prices as we go. I have all the prices here. This was sent to me, but of course my reviews are always my thoughts, my opinions, and you'll get to see the application as we go, so you'll be able to see everything. Let me start off by zooming y'all in a little bit, and we will try some blush on. I mean, I only have one face, but maybe we can try 2 different blushes. We can try both the highlighters. We'll see. Okay, so let's try on the blush. Now, we have these brushes that are so pretty. I plan to use these brushes for lots of different things. I think this one would be great for cream products. I think this one would be good for like face powder, but I'm gonna use them with the blush palette today too, so we can really try these. Do you see how like flimsy and floppy that is? That's a really nice soft brush. So I don't know if I said it earlier, but the brush set with the bag is $70. So that makes each, well, I'm counting the dual-ended brush as 2 brushes. If I count it as 1, that's 6 brushes in a bag, $70. That's less than $10 a piece. I feel like that's a good price point. If Lunar Beauty Lauralee Los Angeles did not send me this collection, I would have bought it myself. I would have bought it myself because I love the brand, and I've always purchased like everything from Lauralee, and I've purchased a ton from Lunar Beauty. So I'm just excited, y'all. I'm excited. Let's go in with Pink Blossom, and we'll use this big brush because I love pink blush. Specifically pink blushes this type of color, so I really don't feel like I can overdo it. I just don't know. We'll see, and we'll put this pink blush right over here. This is called Pink Blossom. Okay, so I'm popping this pink blush right here. Again, I'm using this big fluffy brush, so I'm expecting to get just like a light pink flush. That is really pretty. Oh, that's so like fresh. That looks like such a fresh color. Whoops. So this is a very pretty like cool toned matte blush. If you see any glow to my skin, that's just from my like finishing powder that I used on my face. This is a matte blush. Okay, let's take this brush, the smaller brush, and we'll use one of these highlighters. Let's just go in with this one, Nude Champagne, right here. I'll pick this up on my brush. I've got a nice big mirror in this palette. Again, I do have a little bit of a glow on just because of the base products I used, but I want to just add that. That's pretty. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm into that. I really like the highlighter formulas from both of these brands, so I had high hopes. I like that. I really like that. But on the other cheek, let's try this, whoops, this brush that is not super duper flimsy, but also not super firm. And we'll go into Rose Skyline. Why don't we do that one? Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. That is a very pretty. Oh, I like this shade. So this is definitely a very pretty kind of berry blush shade. Very beautiful. Let's go in. I'm going to take my brush that we used to highlight with. I'm going to grab my little Sigma color switch. I'm gonna buff this brush off, and we're gonna use the other highlighter shade, Gold Fantasy. I really like that we have 2 highlighters and the 4 blushes are matte. I think that was a really good choice. Okay, so Nude Champagne, this highlighter looks like it's kind of got this like rose gold undertone. So I'm gonna use this not just as a highlight, but I'm gonna kind of pull it down right here on top of my blush to make it more of like a blush topper. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna take this brush, the one that we used for this blush over here, and I'm gonna see if I can put on just a little more of this pinky blush, because I just wanna show you, like, depending on the brush you use, like, you can definitely get more color payoff if you want that. There we go. That is super pretty. I like both of these. I'm excited. I'll continue to wear these. I'll wear these in videos going forward, of course, and I'll let you know my full thoughts after I've tried it, worn it, all of that. I'll let you know if this is the same formula like that stays around that I love from the brands, but so far it seems like it. I'm going to kind of even out my cheeks, like kind of mix in some of the light pink over here, the berry over here, the highlights to kind of like make my look more cohesive. And I'm going to put on eye primer and zoom y'all in to do the eyes. I'm also going to swap out my lip color. So again, I'm wearing the shade Mara, and Mara, like Manny and Laura, Mara. And these lipsticks are $14 each, which I think is a super fair price point. So yeah, let me even out the blush. Let me swap out and I'll put on our, what is this one? Lanny lipstick. I'll put this lipstick on and we will do an eye look. Okay, so before I prime my eyes, I just wanted to show you the lipstick in the shade Lanny. And I did pair this with another lip liner, and it is Snack. Just something a little deeper in tone to kind of fit more my preference, but I think this is so beautiful. Like, I love this like lip combo. I could see myself wearing this a ton. But now, seriously, I'm gonna put on my eye primer and we're gonna play with this beautiful palette. Okay, so I put on my eyeshadow primer. Sigma Ignite is what I'm using. I will link this collection. I will link everything I talk about down below in the description box. My jewelry that my friend makes, like, I will link as much as possible in the description box. So definitely check there if you're curious about anything. But of course, I'm going into this like dirty olivey, yellowy, green type of shade. Like, this is the color that stood out to me most in this palette. I'm like, we've got to use it. And I'm going to just use these like full fantasy brushes for this eye look because I think the shapes that they included are really nice. And I think they're gonna work for us really well. So I'm just gonna take this shade and I'm just pressing it into my eye primer first. Just pressing it right in here. I'm gonna put it all in my socket, up, above. I always kind of, not always, often, I will take a shade like this and bring it up a little higher out here. Just for my eye shape, I like to kind of like open my deep set eyes up by bringing the shade up a little higher. And so I'm just going to now blend kind of back and forth like this. Okay, I love a black eyeshadow. I want to test this one out. This one is called Break Time. I'm going to put this under the lower lash line. That first shade we went in with is Trivia. I really like the names on these shadows. I mean, like I said, I have followed Manny and Laura before they had their own makeup brands, and of course after, and now I listen to their podcast, Full Coverage, that's super fun. So reading all these names, I just really enjoy. I think it's a lot of fun. So I'm just taking this on their like flat brush, and I'm gonna put this just right up against the lash line for now, and just lightly kind of blend it. Once I have it pressed on, I'll just kind of buff it out. Okay, let's bring some depth to the outer corner with this shade right here. This purpley plum Lanny. I love a good purple shade. I love a good purple shade. So listen, I know there are neutrals in this palette. I see them. I'll play with them. But today, we're doing color. We're doing the green and the purple together. It is a color combo that I really enjoy. So I was super happy when I saw this palette. I was like, oh yeah, I can do green and purple, or greenish tones and purplish tones, you know? So I'm just putting this in the outer corner. I'm connecting it right down to where we put that matte black on the lower lash line. And I'm just buffing it out. And I mean, y'all can see, like, these shades are super easy to work with. Like, I'm not having to struggle to blend anything. I'm not having to struggle to build anything up. I'm not getting any like patchiness. So far, we've got really good quality in these mattes. So I'm looking forward to playing with some of the shimmer metallic sparkly shades. Okay, I'm really happy with how this is coming together, but I do want to take this lighter shade right here called Cloudy, this one. I just want to use another matte from this palette. I've used 3, and this one looks really beautiful. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to use it to like buff right out in here and like blend and kind of see how this shade performs. Okay, so I'm just taking Cloudy and kind of running it right along like the edges like this, just very lightly putting that shade out here. Really pretty. Oh, I'm excited. I know I'm using the palette now, but like I'm excited to create even more looks with this. I think I'm gonna be able to make some really pretty looks. I'm enjoying just these colors together. I like this a lot. Okay, I am so torn because I really want to use this shade right here. I think this is going to be so beautiful with what we have going on, but also this one is so sparkly and more purpley, and I think that would be beautiful. And then I'm like, no, Heather, this more like bright olive, but then this deep dark green, I'm like, do I want to go more like sultry and go for a dark color? I'm so torn between those 4 shimmers. So what I'm gonna do is use as many as possible. Use as many as possible. Let's start with Full Fam, okay? Because this one looks really sparkly and I really want to see it on the eyes. Okay, so I have this shade on my brush. This is the dual-ended brush. And I always spray my shimmers or metallics just for extra intensity, less fallout, all of that. So I pick the shadow up first and then I spray my brush. And I want to put this right here on the inner corner, kind of wrapped, and then up a little bit right here, but I'm not taking it far over. I just want a touch of this shade. This is really pretty. Like, it's pink, but almost a little like purpley to it. Like, it has this cool undertone and a lot of sparkle, like a lot of sparkle. Wow, that's really, really beautiful. Okay, all right, I'm happy about that. Okay, let's go in now to this. This is, I feel like if you look at it one way, you're like, oh, that's a green gold. And then if you look at it another way, you're like, no, it's like a muted olive, but definitely like this gold olive. I'm gonna pick this up because it looks like it has a lot of shimmer too. I'm gonna pick it up on the other side of that brush, and we're gonna put this not all over the lid, but we're gonna put it on this like inner part of our lid right here. Okay, so I'm just going to press this on right here. Yeah, that's really pretty. That has a lot of sparkle to it as well. I want to leave this center part blank because I want to put another shimmer there, and I want to leave the kind of outer portion of my lid matte. So I'm just like, as wide as the brush is for me, that's where I'm putting it. Like this. You could definitely put this shade all over the lid though if you wanted to. Of course, my videos, I love testing new makeup, trying new makeup. I buy so much makeup. I love makeup, but I'm never here to convince you to buy makeup. I'm here to give you reviews on products that maybe you're curious about. Maybe you're on a low buy and no buy, and you just want to see what you can do with your stash. Maybe you're following along, you're shopping your stash, duping the vibes with something you have in your collection. That's awesome. Maybe you're not into makeup, you're just here to hang out. I hope that you are having a good time. I'm having a good time. I'm just so happy you're here watching, but let me put this beautiful olive on the other side, and we're gonna play with more shimmer. Okay, we're gonna go in with the dark shimmer Virgo. This, it looks like a neutral, but there's something about it when I swatch it, like I feel like it also has like this olive undertone to it, which I'm into. Okay, so I want to put this shade Virgo right here before we get to that like purple matte. So we kind of have this like pinky shade, then this green gold, now we have this like deep dark like brown olive, and then we're gonna fade to the matte in the outer corner. And if I just like take this shade over too far, it's not a big deal. I'll just go back in with my brush, go back into Lanny, the matte, and just add a little bit more. If I cover up too much, it is really not a big deal. But all of these shimmers, like, oh, they're so sparkly, so pretty. Oh, I love makeup. It puts me in such a good mood. It really does. It's just so fun. Okay, so I really still want to use this really pretty like duochrome shadow called Aries, and I want to put this on top of the black on the lower lash line. I think it's gonna look really cool. I think the look is great how it is. I could leave it alone. I could throw on my mascara. I could go, but more is more, you know, like more is more. So why not put this shade Aries on my lower lash line? Okay, let's take this and put this and on top of that black shadow, like using that as almost like a black base. That is pretty. That is really pretty. I know it's kind of subtle down the lower lash line, but wow, I really like that. This is such a pretty like blue to brown type of duochrome. So I'm just gonna buff, but I think we're gonna leave the eye look here. I'll see if I need to blend anymore or something like that, but I think I'm gonna leave the eye look here, throw on some liner, maybe throw on a lash, and we'll talk about this collection and kind of my first impression thoughts. Did I tell you how much the palette is? The palette is $48, which, how many shades do you get? Like this is a good price. 18 shades. Yeah, I feel like the collection is really reasonable with the rest of their line. So I'm pumped. Okay, eyeliner, mascara, lashes, I'll be back. All right, y'all, I put on some black eyeliner and some lashes, and I am feeling this look. I'm so happy with how everything looks. Let's kind of quickly talk about things. The bag, already showed y'all, super cute. I plan to use that when I travel. I like how spacious it is. My first impression of the brushes is that they're all super nice. I use these for, you saw, blush, highlight, eye look. I didn't pull in any other brushes, and I'm excited to use these brushes in different ways as well. Like, I just want to use them with other products too and keep testing them, but I like the packaging. They were soft. They did what they needed to do. Very nice. I'm excited about them. I'm excited. I had like a good feeling already about the like actual makeup products because I have worked with products from both brands. I've been using them for so long, so I kind of expected a good result. But just in case you were wondering, like, oh, maybe they cut corners because it's a collab, no, like very, very nice. I'm excited to keep using the blush palette. I really like the tones in here. I like that we have lighter shades, deeper shades. I think these two both are pretty as blush toppers as well. I really like how glowy everything looks. The lipsticks I like. I think these are very nice, very creamy, not drying. I like this component. I love a magnet. I love a lipstick like that. It just feels so luxurious to me. So I'm into these. And then like, I love eyeshadows. I love eyeshadows. It's like my favorite for makeup. I love playing with new shadows, new formulas, different textures, different brands. And this is the quality that I expect from these brands. Really beautiful. I really like how we have neutrals and some color. I like that in the mattes we go from very light to very dark. I think that makes this palette very versatile. I like how we have a duochrome. We have a kind of pinky shade, purpley shade. We have the olives, and then we also have some really pretty neutral tones too. I feel like this is a versatile palette. I could see myself using this a lot, and I'm very excited to create some more looks with this. Like, I really want to use this plum shade. I want to use this shade too, like this grungy copper. I think that's really pretty. I like the packaging. So listen, the full collection is $135 for everything. If a makeup maniac ran in here to my room, stole everything, I couldn't stop them, they made it out the door, I would go on the site and I would buy all of this because I want it. I would have bought it before I tested it, but now that I've tested it, I've used it, I'm like, oh yes, I need this. I need this. I'm really happy with my look. I'm feeling super beautiful. Huge congratulations to Manny and Laura. Y'all did a great job. I hope you are so proud of this collection. I am excited to keep using it. Remember, this is a first impression. I will follow up and let you know my thoughts on this later on after I've used every shadow, every blush, every highlight, cleaned the brushes, used them, cleaned them, used them. I'll follow up. But in case you're curious, I am also wearing Unearthly Cosmetics Intangible Lashes. I wanted to go with something long and wispy. And then my bronzer today is, of course, the Lunar Beauty Outer Dimension Face Palette. So that is some of the other things I have on. I hope you will subscribe. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button so I show up on your subscription feed. Like the video if you liked it, share it if you want to share it. It helps me out so much. But I hope you're having an amazing day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye!